Hello everyone, Auvbri here and welcome back to The Sims 4 and welcome to another speed build. We're back here in The Sims 4 doing a new thing. So this is something we did on the live stream, and I told you guys a little while back that I was gonna redo the entire Sims world of Willow Creek and the other worlds as well with the following expansion packs. But we're here in Willow Creek and we're looking at the library, so we're just taking a look around at what the library looks like before I actually get my grubby hands on it. It's kind of a bad build. There's a lot of inconsistencies and a lot of why did you do that? Just for the sake of having rounded edges. They used a lot of the foundation tool to round things. It's very dark and drab inside here as well. It's a very good build for the base game of that time, but seeing that we have a lot more base game items now than we had back then, and there's just a lot of items that don't really fit in here, especially you guys on the live stream were very confused of some of the design choices in here. Like, why do they have these light wooden bookcases when they have all of these very dark wood tones and dark colors beside those? It just doesn't make too much sense. And upstairs as well, it's very boring. Also the green lamps just don't fit in, so I wanted to tackle this one first, and I think we can still keep the build's integrity and the basic design structure somewhat, and still put our own spin on it. But this is what it looks like, and again, I did this on a live stream, so let's jump into the speed version. So here we have it, guys, and again, I didn't finish all of this on a live stream, but we did some of it on a live stream, and this is where I really love doing stuff on live stream with you guys, because you guys can kind of come with input as well, and if I do something that maybe looks weird, you guys can tell me. So that's what we did, and I'm just working on the roofing pieces here. I mucked around with these roofing pieces for so long until someone on a live stream told me that why don't you just copy paste the roofing piece, then it will be the same all around. And that's just stuff you don't notice if you're playing around with it yourself. So that was a great hint, but again, we wanted to keep the basic design structure of the build, so I still wanted it to look the same. I just wanted to put my own spin on it somewhat and making it a bit more modern. But again, this is only base game stuff, so in this rebuild the Sims worlds series that we're gonna do here, I am only gonna use the game packs from that world and the base game that comes with that world when we're redoing stuff. So here in Willow Creek and in Oasis Springs, when we go over there, it's only going to be base game stuff here, and I just want to show that you can do so much more with the base game than what is actually built here in The Sims by the team. And we decided to tackle this build first because it is on the main street. It's very dull and drab looking, and it's kind of like they didn't know where they wanted to go with the design of this build, because it has some Victorian in it. It has some very weird design choices, and we have this huge wraparound that I'm actually gonna delete in just a little bit because I got very annoyed by it. It's just like a box. It's a square box. That's it. It has a little tower, but it had on the second stories, it was just the tallest wall height, and on the lower floor it was the medium wall height, which that also, it looks so weird. It didn't fit together. So I also went in and fixed that. We went ahead and deleted most of these what should we call pathways, foundation pathways thingies that they had going on, and I was like, you know what, we need to redo the whole thing, but still keep somewhat the skeleton of the build intact. Also, Brinetti, one of my lovely moderators and one of my followers who's been here on the channel a very long time, was like, can you please delete the windows? They like she was traumatized with those windows, guys. It was so funny. So I think that's probably my new favorite window. But we're gonna delete the windows in just a little while here. I put in a new doorway as well, but mostly all of the windows are placed the same way and in the same spot as before, because again, I wanted you to still be able to see the basic design structure and design language of the build. I kind of put the build in a little bit from the side here because it was looking very weird that it was so close to the edge on one side and not on the other. But yeah, this is gonna be the entrance area. We're gonna have in the back here another wraparound porch area kind of thing. You're not able to go out there. Also in the back we had, I don't know why, but there was like this weird backyard, enclosed backyard thing that didn't actually lead to anything. Like there was not a doorway from the library out to it. You had to go around to sit in the back to read. That was kind of like, I didn't understand why that was a choice. But we played around with some different roofing designs here as well before actually landing on this, and we're of course curving it a bit so it fits with, you know, the rest of the build as well. And of course we're gonna delete it. I wanted to see if we could do some stuff with the top of the flooring, but we couldn't. It's fine. Going in here, I knew in the front I wanted to do something different. Initially I wanted to still have it look like the previously style that was there, but we're actually going to go in another direction. We're also going to put in windows very shortly. Again, I tried to keep the basic design language outside mostly the same, but putting my own spin on it. As we said in the live stream, we're gonna Auvbri it up. If you're wondering how you get to those live stream, guys, there's in the description beneath this video links to my Discord server and my Twitter page, which is the best way for you guys to actually see and figure out when the next live streams are and when next, you know, new content is coming out and all that good stuff. Sometimes I do spontaneous live streams. Then it's a very good idea for you, if you want to be in on one of those live streams, to actually press the notification button when you've subscribed to the channel. Then you will get a notification when I go live on the channel here. I only stream here on YouTube. I don't stream on Twitch. I used to stream a bit on Twitch, but you know, I had some problems with Twitch and the whole monetization thing because they couldn't help me with that and they just didn't want to help. So I went back to YouTube, and also this is where all of you guys are. So it's, you know, it's a bit nicer to be here working on the back of the build here. Yeah, what can I say? I mean, it's just we took a lot of time here to really make the build look beautiful. Like before, it was a bit boring looking, it was a bit lazy looking as well, and I wanted to blend it in with the surrounding areas. So of course we have the back where there was like this enclosed garden area before. I still wanted to keep that, and you guys also said that you wanted to keep that, so we're of course going to do that again. I just made something different with it, so we're going to put in some benches in the back where you can actually walk outside from the back of the library, to actually walk outside and, you know, read a book if that's what you want to. And it just makes a bit more sense to have a, you know, a doorway in the back that actually leads outside if it's meant to be that you can actually read outside. So that's what we did. I also get asked a lot, and you asked this in the live stream as well, how I do landscaping. So what I want to, like what I usually do, especially here in The Sims, is look at the surrounding areas, look what plants the Sims team has used to kind of blend everything in together, and then use that myself. So that's what we did here. This was also a very good trick that you see me do here. So if you want to place your plants very, very close to the foundation, you can actually put the foundation down, place your plants, and then put it up again, and then it's totally fine. You just have to place in your staircases again, and everything is nice and snug into the foundation, and it's no problem for you to actually put them there, and they won't like raise up with the foundation either. So it's it's a nice little like Sims cheat, if we can call it that. So we've moved into the back here, and again I wanted to, you know, make it look as part of the world. So we kind of looked at what the surrounding area was looking like, and I started to just place in some items. Here we have this enclosed little area where your sim can go out and read. So we're gonna place some benches down and make it just look nicer than it did before, also as kind of like a back way into the library as well. When we go inside the library here, I have added two kind of side buildings to the build itself, just to create something a bit more interesting for the eye to look at from the outside, but it actually meant that we had a bit more space inside as well, which meant that we could actually, you know, pull in the building from the right side, from the front, like we did before, that you saw me do. Because we had more space, it also meant that I could kind of line up things a bit more symmetrically inside of the build, where before it was there was no symmetry whatsoever. It didn't it didn't fit at all, which was very weird, and it's very annoying to my eye to look at when I can see that somebody has attempted symmetry, but it's just not working. Of course, a funky little bench in the front in another color, just to make it look a bit more cool and nicer. So go in here, the first thing I wanted to do was put in a new flooring. I knew that I wanted to keep the bookcases that we have in here and make them fit with what we actually have to work with here. I tried to put in the staircase the same place as before and kind of, you know, curve it, but that just didn't work for me. Also because the upstairs here was a very weird shape. Like, that didn't fit either, so that was very annoying, and I tried to fix that. I went downstairs again, and I actually had to stop the live stream here and come back to it myself, you know, with a fresh pair of eyes. Sometimes I just need a little while, like a couple of days, to look at a build from new eyes and kind of see, okay, so this is what we can do here. So I made everything look, so I was counting these tiles here. Now everything fits. It's the same amount of tiles on either side of the hole in the middle, so that was good. The only thing I didn't actually touch in this build was the bathrooms and the kids' playroom. I didn't really think that those needed to be fixed. They fit really well with the library. It was just kind of like the standard bathroom that you see in these public areas. Also, the kids' room was fine. Like, there's nothing really I would have changed in there. Maybe put in another wallpaper, but it was what it was. It was there. It was supposed to be there, so that was fine. Working on the entrance here, I was looking for some lightings that we can actually use, so I decided to just go with these really good standard ones to light up the place. This work that I do here, I'm actually gonna delete that because I don't know, I wasn't digging it when I went back into it. It wasn't too library, so I actually went back in it, and you're gonna see me here deleted. I deleted some more stuff, but again, we still have most of the same stuff, so I'm actually going to use the same chairs, the same computer tables that they used, and somewhat the same curtains and stuff, but I just changed the color of them so it just fit a bit better with what we were actually trying to do, with what to brighten up the place a bit with, some more bright colors, so it wasn't too dark and droopy like it was before. Putting in some more old school style lamps here and some plants just to put some final touches on it. Just because it's a library, it doesn't have to be like this super boring library look, which I felt like it was before, but we tried to brighten it up a lot. So we have this pastel color on the wall, and we put in the brick as well that was from the exterior and brought it inside as well, just to a nice contrast to to the pastel color that we have on the wall here. And that's kind of it. Like, I'm gonna do the same thing upstairs. Mostly a lot of the stuff is gonna be in the same spot as it was before, with the exception of the 2 added let's call them rooms that we have upstairs as well. I was just moving some things around in the kids room, you know, because I had to place the door in a different area, so everything would just make sense. But yeah, that's it. We're gonna move upstairs here, and this is the last thing we're gonna do in this build. I wanted to mimic the downstairs on the upstairs area as well, so we're gonna keep the same chairs up here actually, and we're gonna put in some more of the bookcases, you know, so stuff on the walls, and that's kind of it. Like, there's nothing too much going on up here. We needed 2 more desk chairs, so I just decided to put in 2 more computer desks, a little nice seating area over there. And you know, this great thing about this place is that because we are working with such neutral colors, throwing in a yellow couch here and there, or like a blue rug, is not actually going to tilt the whole thing. It's actually going to make the build look somewhat more interesting to the eye. So here we have the build, guys. This build is ready on the gallery right now. So if you want it, you can search my origin ID and you should be able to find every single thing that I have done, or you can follow the link in the description down below. And again, while you're down in the description below, why not follow me on all the social media pages? Again, if you want to get in on the next live stream, if you want to see what the next content is, chat with me, all that type of good stuff. And on the live stream, I think I'm very vocal in talking to the people on the live stream. So if you have something you want to ask me, the live streams is definitely the best way for you to do so. Again, description box down below. Also, all the CC that I would normally use is gonna be down there. And if you want to wait for me to finish the entire world, I'm going to actually upload my save file for all of the worlds rebuilt when I'm done with them, so you can get the save file once that's done. But yeah, that's it. I really hope you enjoyed this this rebuild of the classic Willow Creek archives, as they call the lot. I think it turned out really good. You can still kind of see the design language from the old, but it's kind of had a new spin on it, so it kind of fits more with the whole Willow Creek vibe that we have going on here. But yeah, there's nothing else for me to say. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave it a big like, a subscribe, and share it with your friends. And I just hope you stay safe out there and have a truly fantastic day wherever you are in the world. Bye, guys.